Today, NASCAR is back in Pennsylvania for its second and final stop at Pocono Raceway. Pocono is a unique track with unique challenges. The three turns, patterned after popular IndyCar tracks when the track was built, are all different, and so are the three straightaways. So once again, there is a lot of pressure for crew chiefs to get their driver the perfect setup so that they'll wind up in victory lane. It's time to see which crew has this tricky triangle all figured out. It's the Overton's 400 at Pocono, and this is NASCAR on McBlam Racing. And the pace car will make its way down pit road. Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski on the front row, leading them 2 by 2. 21 and a half rows, 43 cars, ready to go racing on a Sunday afternoon. Green flag is in the air. Crossing the start-finish line. Inside line's checking up just a little bit. We go down into treacherous turn 1. Oh, Danica sideways. We get it into Austin Dillon. Dillon's around and the caution is out. Hard to see what happened there, but it looked like Danica got sideways up into us. Nowhere for the three of Austin Dillon to go.
Pit road's now open. Crew's on the wall.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but that's what happens. I mean, turn 1's usually the craziest out of all of it, but let's just try to regroup, get it back from there. And there you have the radio chatter there. Carl Edwards and Denny Hamlin on the front row. Matt Kenseth, Casey Kane, Jimmy Johnson, Earnhardt Jr., Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, Greg Biffle, Martin Truex Jr. are the top 10. We're going to restart 38th on the outside lane. Kyle Larson, Keselowski, Burton, and Stenhouse Jr. all pitted. Larson pits for fuel. Keselowski and Burton pitting for 2 tires. Going to try to see if we can survive turn 1 the second time around as we're getting ready to restart on lap 3. Lap 4 as we come to the line.
We got this.
Green flag is back in the air.
Car inside at your door. Low side's clear.
3 wide up ahead of us. Danica Patrick getting shuffled out. Hamlin goes to the race lead. Oh, sideways into turn 1. Not good, not good. We do manage to gather it back up.
Car outside, at your door.
They are almost 3 wide outside of us. They're going to get a 3 wide right now. It's Austin Dillon going in the middle there. Oh, we get really tight going into turn 2 that time.
Clear left.
We're going to fall back.
Clear up high.
Not sure where Josh Wise is, but we have fallen back out of the pack. We have to get into the brakes a little bit, so we didn't get into Jeff Burton, but we get into him anyway.
The leader is 4 seconds in front.
With goes up the track. He gathers it back up. And now we're side by side. We've fallen back to 41st. Side by side with Jeff Burton. Chase Elliott with the fastest lap of the race. Denny Hamlin is the leader of the race.
Clear on the
outside. Try a
outside.
slide job on Jeff Burton. They do manage to pull it off. It breaks his momentum a little bit. Pocono is one of the toughest tracks in this game. It is absolutely one of the toughest tracks, and
Car 2 back. He's clear.
I haven't met many people who have not had trouble with this track.
You're clear.
It takes a lot of concentration and a lot of know-how and a lot of experience here,
Okay,
but
20 to go.
part of it is the track is still broken. And that's on the game itself. Because no matter what difficulty you're on, it seems that the AI will still they can just go into the corner so much harder than you can and make the car stick, whereas you can't. And by you, I mean you as a driver, you as playing this game, you just can't make the car stick just like the AI can. And you can't take it into the corner like they can going 2 and 3 wide. Jimmy Johnson now has inherited the race lead, also logging the fastest lap of the race.
Let's go to work now, buddy. Come on.
So Keselowski pitted early. I wonder if that's going to help him out strategy-wise at all. We're kind of pulling up the back here, but that's kind of par for the course here. And so we get little... Turn 1 is just so treacherous for us. It's just it's really treacherous for us. It's a really hard turn to try to master without getting down on the apron.
7 seconds ahead to the lead car.
And the leaders are slowly but surely pulling away, but this is a big track. I'm sure we're going to have to make at least one pit stop. And when we make that pit stop, we may go for either 2 tires or fuel only, just depends on how the tire wear is. So right now we're going to do our thing and just race the racetrack. Just kind of try to like find our groove, get our timing down, mainly get turn 1 down. That was a little bit better, but it's really hard to not get either sideways or overdrive turn 1 and get really tight. Jimmy Johnson, the leader, now 8 seconds ahead. We're trying to catch up to Michael McDowell, who's pulled a almost 3-second gap against on us. Kyle Busch now lost the fastest lap of the race.
There's a 9-second gap to the leader.
Yeah, I don't know how. I've always known this track to be extremely difficult, especially in real life NASCAR. It's a really difficult track to get around. But I feel like if the player's going to have any kind of trouble with it, I feel like some other cars should also have that kind of trouble.
Way to go, buddy.
So we're catching McDowell slowly but surely, but I feel like the AI should have some trouble as well. And mainly, I feel like there should be the field should spread out more. If it did that, I feel like it would be a little bit better to race on, and it wouldn't be as taxing on the player. You know, he's not just hanging back here like we are back in 41st place. Although we are catching up to Michael McDowell, and looks like a few other cars. The field is starting to spread out.
The leader is 10 seconds ahead.
But this is one of the tracks that they never fixed with the last patch. It's still pretty intense racing. It's still pretty restrictor plate style racing. I would say this track, and probably, obviously New Hampshire is probably definitely one of those where the pack just doesn't spread out and you're constantly racing either side by side or 2 and 3 wide, which they have fixed most of the 3 wide nonsense that goes on, but not much
Gotta get more aggressive, man. Pass the slower car in front.
Not much of the 2 wide as we're getting to the inside of McDowell, trying to work the side draft on him.
Car up high.
We're gonna try a slide job going into turn 1 here. Ooh, got a little sideways there.
Car
Oh
approaching
boy,
low.
here comes Michael
Car
McDowell
inside,
battling back on the inside.
Clear low.
He got loose. I saw his car get sideways. We do manage to complete the pass, though we got into the wall just a little bit there. Yeah, I saw McDowell get a little sideways underneath of us, and he backed out of it, kind of let us go. So we're now trying to catch up to Michael and Annette.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Step it up.
Making our way through turn 3. Ooh, got on the gas a little bit early there. You see, like, you make the littlest mistake, and you lose the car completely, which plays for some simulation, but with as arcadey as some of the other tracks are, you'd be surprised that you'd have that kind of sensitivity here. So I said, if the field spread out a little bit more, this would be a little bit more fun and a little more interesting. And as it stands right now, we're just kind of mired back here and kind of pulling up the rear, trying to carefully make our moves. You see how Michael Annette can just get right down into turn 3. We can't do that. Now it does help us get a little bit of a run on him down the back straightaway, but we don't have enough time to catch him before we go into turn 1. You see, we take a peek to the inside, but we can't quite get there. If you're wondering what that sound is, that's a sound, we're actually bottoming out a little bit in turn 1. And I'm not sure why. That's always kind of been the case when we run the bottom down there. We kind of bottom out. And when that happens, the car kind of jots sideways a little bit, and then we wind up headed towards the apron.
Nice.
It seems like
right there, buddy.
Seems like Michael McDowell is going to be pitting this time by, so we're going to back out of it just a little bit and run the high side, so we don't get into the back of them.
Left side's clear.
Tony Stewart's now inherited the lead as pit stops are now happening.
We can do this. Gotta keep focused.
We've hit the halfway point of the race.
Inside's clear.
Yeah, you see, like we bottom out a little bit there. And when that happens, as soon as that happens, the car does jot a little bit sideways. And that points us at the apron, so we have to be really careful. And that just may be a setup thing. You know, it's something we got to figure out there. It may help us get into turn 1 a little bit. We overdrove turn 2 just a little bit there. Got sideways off of it. We managed to save it. We're okay. Trying to catch up to Danica Patrick now. Trying to make up at least some time. We're now in the yellow on fuel. Danica Patrick comes down pit road. Looks like she locked the tires up a little bit getting in there, but looks like she'll make it. So we're down in 31st. Ooh, boy, there you heard that was really bad that time. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is now the race leader, so this is going to get him some bonus points. And I would not be surprised if Earnhardt Jr. did inherit the points lead back. And honestly, in the old system, this would be pretty exciting. Just, you know, Earnhardt Jr. and I just swapping back and forth. You know, before the chase happened, you could have this potentially have this kind of battle. Now I know why the chase was. I know why the chase was adopted, so that they didn't have something that happened kind of like in 2001 with Jeff Gordon, because Jeff Gordon just kind of ran away with it. So they didn't want that to happen. So they introduced this chase format and everything. But I can't help but, you know, wonder how much more exciting it would be if, you know, I'm battling back and forth. And caution is out. Looks like we have some trouble on the front stretch. Yeah, cars coming down a pit road. Hamlin gets sideways. Around goes Hamlin. And around goes Regan Smith. Regan Smith will bring out the caution.
Clean up truck, are you clear? You want to pit, buddy?
And it looks like we're going to come down pit road this time by. We got a few other cars coming down pit road. These other cars, I would assume Cole Witt and Jeb Burton have already pitted.
Let's switch out the tires, fuel up, and let's add some tape to the grill. You're running pretty cool. Okay, buddy, we're standing by.
I'll listen to you this time.
Remember what we practiced. Let's do this.
Making your pit stop under the caution flag, which kind of hurts our strategy a little bit. We're kind of hoping that the race would go green and we could possibly pit for fuel only, because we weren't wearing our tires out that much. But since we're under caution, we may as well get those fresh 4. David Reagan just kind of flew by us. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kevin Harvick, Tony Stewart, Clint Boyer, Jimmy Johnson, Ty Dillon, Smith, Busch, Newman, and Martin Truex Jr. round out the top 10. And we will, quite a few cars have pitted. We're going to restart 34th on the outside lane as Waltrip, Gilliland, Michael McDowell, Josh Wise, Jeb Burton, Cole Witt, Casey Mears all take the wave around.
Okay, it's time to push that pace now, buddy. Stay focused. We can do this.
So this is going to be probably a pretty intense restart as we're coming down to 7 laps to go.
Come on, buddy.
Green flag is back in the air.
There's a 5-second gap between you and the leader.
Earnhardt Jr. is going to lead them down into turn 1. Almirola makes a bold move to the outside.
Far down low.
It's like Ken's is up ahead, trying to crowd him a little bit.
At your door.
Boy, little bump from Casey Mears that got us up the racetrack. We're 3 wide.
Keep high.
Trying to hold our line, getting up behind Cole Witt, trying to stay in his draft. Michael McDowell with a bold move to the inside. Josh, Michael Annett. Oh boy, had to get on the brakes a little bit hard there. That shot our car up the track.
Clear left side.
Didn't want to get into the back of Cole Witt. Michael Annett looking to our inside. Can't quite get there.
On the inside.
As they are stacking up big time here.
Clear on the inside.
Michael Annett looking to the outside. We come up to cover slightly. We're trying to get into the draft of Cole Witt, trying not to lose the pack as we now have. We're coming down to 7 laps to go. Going down into turn 1. Big run on the outside. Caught up to Cole Witt that time. Not enough straightaway speed. These cars are pretty much running a straight line. We're going to fall in line behind Cole Witt. And that's going to fall in line behind us.
Very impressive.
Boy, sparks coming from the 35 of Cole Witt. Cole Witt's bottoming out a little bit. We got a little loose off of 2 that time. That kind of killed our momentum in terms of catching up to Cole Witt.
On the bottom, 1 back.
Here comes Michael Annett. Kevin Harvick has now inherited the race lead from Dale Earnhardt Jr. Jr. is probably running second. 6 laps to go. Trying everything we can to get around Cole Witt right now.
Watch your inside. Come
on, but we push up the racetrack a little bit. That's going to leave the door open for Michael Annett, who muscles us up the racetrack. And we're going to battle side by side down.
Got a car low.
Down the second straightaway.
Car underneath.
Coming down into turn 2.
Clear left.
He's battling on the inside. Here comes Annett, battling back.
Car at your door. Down low. At your door. Low side.
Going down into turn 3. Still side by side, but Annett gets a little loose. We capitalize on that and clear him, but that, unfortunately, that battle,
5 to go.
While it was kind of fun with Michael Annett to battle, that kind of cost us a little bit of time on the rest of the field. And like I said, as you can see, they're not really running 3 and 4 wide like they usually do. But they're still very much in a tight pack. And this is one of those things that you can only hope that they've achieved and fixed with NASCAR Heat 2. And Heat Evolution kind of did it a little bit too. Like the field spread out pretty good, but it wasn't. They were still pretty much racing in a pack. And hopefully, like, we get it to where now the field does spread out a little bit, because while the restarts are intense, you would expect after 2 or 3 laps or so that things would calm down. Boy, Michael McDowell battling side by side with Cole Witt.
All right,
McDowell's going to try to battle back to the inside, but we're going to get in the draft of Michael McDowell. Going to work our way to him. Big run off of 2 that time.
Gotta go get it.
Not sure how that happened. We got a big runoff of 2. We're going to try to get the run off turn 3 this time by, but it doesn't look like we... Oh, we do. We do get a run. We work our way to the inside of Michael McDowell.
You're doing it today. Clear high.
Clint Boyer is now in the race lead.
Car up top, one back. First is in front by 8 seconds.
Oh boy, side by side with McDowell. We pushed up the track a little bit.
Car outside.
Managed to keep it off of McDowell.
It's all clear, bud.
Kept some momentum on him a little bit of side drafting. Just try to keep some momentum on these guys. Oh boy, a little sideways going into 2. We're okay, we gather it back up. That cost us some time to Cole Witt once again. Two to go this time by for Clint Boyer.
There's a 9-second gap to the leader. 2 to go.
It's really hard to try to get a handle on this track. It's really, really hard. And as most of you guys, I mean, it's pretty obvious that I do this post-commentary, but I'm interested how the radioactive is going to come out, because I don't say a whole lot during the race. I'm just literally just quiet and trying to hit my marks here. As we got a big run off of 2, another big run. Looks like we're hitting turn 2 just right. Oh boy, Gilliland looked like he got a little sideways there. We're going to try to capitalize on it. Final lap. Clint Boyer is battling side by side with someone. I missed it on the telemetry up on the top right. And now we worked into the 39th position. Trying to get around Cole Witt. We're in his draft. Oh, good. Not a bad turn 1 there, but we shot up the track a little bit. That's going to cost us some time. As we're going down the second straightaway. Getting into Cole Witt's draft. Let's see if we can hit turn. We're going to have to go to the outside to make it work, though. Oh, we got a big run. Oh, I didn't expect Cole Witt to check up. Oh, Cole Witt gets into us. Around goes Witt. We're into the wall. Gilliland is going to go by on the high side.
Clear right. Checkered flag.
Cole Witt has wrecked down the front straightaway, and Clint Boyer has gone away with the win. Well, not the front straightaway, the second straightaway, or the short shoot, rather.
Not really the result we wanted, but
and we're going to come home 39th.
It's a long season, buddy. The main thing is building up some of those points.
Oh, that's what we're trying to do. Maybe next time we'll be able to come out with something a little bit better than that. But as it stands, you know, we did what we could. We did the best that we could. And we'll just have to try again next week. There's always next week until the chase starts. So let's go out there and get some more points next week. Let's do it, guys. Okay, guys, so here are the race results for the Overton 400 here at Pocono Raceway. We have Clint Boyer is your race winner. He wins. Coming in second is Jimmy Johnson, who led 5 laps. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is in third. Fourth is Kevin Harvick. Fifth is Tony Stewart. Ryan Newman is sixth. Seventh is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Eighth is Denny Hamlin. Ninth is Greg Biffle. And rounding out the top 10 is Kyle Busch. And here is the rest of the field where you can pick out your favorite driver. I gotta be honest, I was actually having a little bit of fun racing with Michael Annett. I just wish it was racing for something other than 40th. Didn't mean to get into Cole Witt there at the end, but that just it was just racing. It was the final lap, so I was doing what I can. Alright guys, so here are the point standings. As of right now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has inherited the points lead once again, and that knocks us back to second place after our bad finish at Pocono. Kurt Busch is in third, Tony Stewart in fourth, Jeff Gordon in fifth, sixth is Denny Hamlin, seventh is Brad Keselowski, 8th is AJ Allmendinger, 9th is Kevin Harvick, and rounding out the top 10 is Carl Edwards. So yeah guys, not a great finish for us, but then again, Pocono is one of the toughest tracks in this game. A lot of people really struggle with it. I've always struggled with it. Even this is only my second season running here, so maybe at some point I'll be able to get some type of setup going where I can where it'll help me around turns especially turn one. Turn one is so treacherous, and if you don't take it just right, you can overdrive it so easily. Same thing with turn two. I was having a lot of trouble turning the car at the beginning, but I managed to get some type of rhythm down. But unfortunately, that rhythm is slow. So we'll just have to do what we can, try to get our way back up there. Like I said, we're having a really good battle with Dale Earnhardt Jr. I imagine that it's going to get even a little bit more interesting after next week, which is Watkins Glen, our second road course and final road course of the season. And I don't know who's going to do better there. I don't know if I'll do better than Junior or if Junior will do better than I am. So yeah, we'll just have to. It's one of those things we're just going to have to wait and see. So yeah, guys, if you guys enjoyed the race, I mean, if you did, I hope you did. There was some exciting racing on. It was just for 40th. I did have a little bit of fun there racing with Michael Annette, and like I said, I didn't mean to get into Cole Witt like that. I didn't expect that to happen. So because usually I don't get that type of run off of the turn, so maybe he got loose and I just got into the back of him, couldn't get off of him in time. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the race. I do these races every week following the NASCAR season, and thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you at the Glen.